Today marks 1256 days share lessons I learned and continue to learn with all of you. My hope that these insights will inspire you, support your dreams, help you achieve your goals, and really empower you to become the person that you want to become. If you want to become that person, you will need to master alone time. Every single person needs alone time. I think that's one sad thing is that a lot of times we're afraid of alone time. We want to be with somebody, we want to listen to a music, we want to listen to a podcast, we want to listen to a seminar or anything, but we do not want to spend time by ourselves. We want to go to a hike, we want to go to do something with other people. And I think it's very, 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 very common that we avoid alone time. We don't want to spend time with ourselves. We don't like ourselves. Sometimes we do not understand who we are. And sometimes we feel like strangers to ourselves. And then, of course, sometimes you feel uncomfortable with a stranger because there is no connection. I think that's why it's so important to really build and nurture a relationship with yourself and really have that quality time with yourself. And that's alone time with yourself and really spending just with yourself. Because I think that what we have tends to do is really put some sounds on or think about something else, something other people, about the past, about the future, but really not thinking about really right now. Being able to have that alone time, that space for yourself, is so important. Sometimes we allocate hours and hours and hours and hours to other people, but we forget that in the mirror, there's a person who requires sometimes even more time to pour in that cup. That cup is so important that you can really pour into others. So today we'll share why is it so important to have that alone time? Why is that? And what we need to really think about it. What is the foundation of that alone time? Because, including myself, sometimes I think that I don't spend enough time to myself, by myself. Because I think that some people could be alone all the time and they need to really have that more quality time with other people. And people who spend a lot of time by themselves, sometimes they don't spend in the right way. They spend by scrolling, playing games. They buy themselves, but not for themselves. They buy themselves, but not for themselves. What they mean by that, because they have bad behaviors in that alone time, and of course that even put them down rather than elevate them. So what do we need to really think about alone time? And I think that you need to understand that alone time is that your inner space and time. Space and time. That means that we're able to allocate where we are, it might be nature, and we need to allocate quality time. Because we can be all the time, we can be 10 hours by ourselves, but if we do not do anything that really elevates nurtures our inner world, those 10 hours might be wasted. Because rest and recharge a lot of times is still different things. You can rest by watching a movie, but will that recharge you? Majority of that. So that means we need to understand, okay, what is that? Where is that space? And what kind of time to really able to allocate to really improve that internal world, internal time, internal space. And I mean, we need to honor our own space and time. And I think sometimes is to really have a create an environment or place where is your reflection space or your thought space. Maybe there's a couch, maybe there is a bench, maybe there's something that you're able to go and do one thing only. Is your alone time, your reflection time, your thought time. You're able to really connect and nurture your inner world. It's very, very important. Number two, we need to ask why do we avoid it? Why we avoid? And why does it matter so much? I think that's one big thing that I already mentioned, that a lot of times we just do not like ourselves. And of course, we don't like spending time with people that we don't like, including ourselves. But if we do not like ourselves, that means we need to understand which parts of ourselves that we don't like and which parts do we want to change. And until we accept it, address that, and change it, and improve it, and transform and evolve, will not like ourselves. Some things we're able to change, some things not. And of course, if you are fat and you don't like it, of course you're able to change it. You just need to accept that where you're at right now and really take actions necessary to really be the person you want to be. If you are some certain height and you need to be higher, most likely you will not be able to really become higher. So that means you need to accept where you're at and then use other things that you're able to really develop and grow yourself, because you're able to be taller in your confidence, you're able to be taller in your courage, you're able to be taller in your wisdom, you're able to be taller in your character. So these areas that we're able to develop and improve and get higher. I think that is very, very important to have that inner connection and reflection and understanding and nurturing yourself. Because one big thing is why it's so important is that if we do not do that, if we don't really reflect on ourselves, if we don't really have that alone time, we potentially could live a life based on someone else's blueprint. What I mean by that is that a lot of times we live our lives based on society, based on friends, based on peers, based on other people, ideas and thoughts and perspectives, what we're supposed to do. But we forget that we need to really look into internal wellness, like what is the blueprint for my life that I want to live by. So you remove all the blueprints that was put on you based on society, and just like this is my blueprint. It was this there always all the time. It was there in my closet, in my internal closet, and I just never took it and never looked into it, and never started living based on true my blueprint. And how are you able to really look into that blueprint? Only by spending time internally, having that alone time, reflect time. Because we need to understand that we have that inner sanctuary, and that is the foundation thing of construction of self. Because blueprint, your internal blueprint, is in there. Your internal blueprint is not outside looking for YouTube channel, not for some speaker to speaking about your life. No, this is internal dialogue with yourself, and that's a sanctuary where you're able to start construction. Because now, when you know your blueprint, then you're able to start to construct yourself, build yourself, the skill sets, character traits, the things that you want to have, when you want to develop, you want to get better. We need to really understand that. Because at that moment, we have a blueprint and we will start to create rituals, patterns, routines, habits. We're able to create goals that align with the blueprint, and we're able to really build a life, build a house of really what really matters. And I think that's we're able to really start understanding ourselves in a higher level. Because when you have understanding of yourself on a higher level, what it does improves our courage, improves our confidence, because now you know exactly this is exactly what you want. So clarity comes in, and clarity gives you so much more confidence, so much more action, so much more execution, and that allows to get so much better results. I think that a lot of times when we do not get results, we can ask ourselves, how much clarity do I have on that? Did I really spend enough time on alone time to reflect on that, or just when I do a lot of things and I think about it? Because I think that's what we tendency have to do, is do multiple 10 things and then think about it while doing multiple things. But we need to have really sit down and think about one thing and one thing only sometimes. I'll allocate 30 minutes and then after I not think about it. I think that this is again superpower. Superpower is being able to allocate 30 minutes, an hour, to really think about one problem only, and then a whole day not think about a problem. Execute on the things necessary to really move forward. What it does is that when you execute on the things that need to be done, you actually in a higher level, because you're not constantly thinking about the problem. Because what we do is that we're thinking about the same problem 24 hours, and the problem becomes bigger and more scary. But when you allocate 30 minutes or 60 minutes in that day to focus on that problem, and now 23 hours is on execution on other things, you execute so much better, you get out of your station so much faster. I hope that this is such a crucial lesson. When you have a problem, allocate 30 minutes, half an hour to solve that. If you're not able to solve that, never think about that problem for a day, and you come back to that another day for 30 minutes. I think that we need to understand that what really happens in that space time. What really happens? I think that we need to understand that if you're not performing, that means it might be that the biggest reason is not performing because we never allocate ourselves time. Because we are architects of our inner world. And if you don't like what is inner, that means that we need to really adjust some things. because I can shape my life from inside out. I truly believe that life's supposed to be shaped inside out, but we have a tendency to build our life outside in. When I will have a car, I will be happy. When I will have this or that, I will be happy. When I will achieve this, that this is what happens internally. No, now I think that when we start seeing being the person who we need to be, being the happy, being grateful, being, it will be much, much easier to do the things necessary to have the things that you want. And that's probably I've heard the training like be do have. Most people live from have do be, and we need to learn how to execute from be do have, and that's where the inner inside out is really works. And last thing what I mention about that's rebirth requires emptiness. That a lot of times everything is destroyed, like after a fire, like there's a massive fire, everything is destroyed, and there's a massive rebirth that happens in that moment. I think that a lot of times that alone time is that time when you're able to destroy everything inside that maybe you didn't like, that didn't allow you to achieve the things that you wanted. So you destroy everything inside. You throw everything out, you burn everything, and at that moment you're able to rebirth into a different kind of person, a better version of yourself. I think that we're not supposed to be scared of that. We're supposed to be excited that there's opportunity to really rebuild yourself. Even though that it was good life, it was a good person, inside, good identity. But we want a great version of ourselves. So we need to destroy that good version of ourselves that he could really allow and give space to that great version of ourselves. And that alone time, maybe for a day, maybe for a week, maybe for a month, maybe for a season of 6 months and even a year, to really being able to really burn all the things that was not helping you and really rebuild everything from inside out. I think it's beautiful, beautiful, beautiful thing. So able to forge the things really you. And that is a sacred preparation for the things that's coming to your way. And I think that's when you're able to really forge that growth, I think at that moment you really understand that that's probably the only way to really have that personal mastery, to forge things out, to understand, okay, like what are that having that sacred space, develop those routines, those maybe daily routines, weekly routines, monthly routines, yearly, those really understanding that there's those endings and beginnings of what is inside. I think that's such a powerful thing. Be able to really sometimes even reset yourself, because if you where you're going is not working, being able to really say that I reset myself and I pivot myself and I move in a new direction. And only alone time sometimes leads to really get good decision, because we stop looking for outside things to really validate us. We're looking for internal validation, and that's again very, very important, because that is our inner personal temple, and we need to take care of that very, very well. So I hope that you reflect on that as well. How often do you spend that true time for yourself? There is no sound, no external stimulus, no dopamine, no nothing, just you and you alone and your thoughts. I think this is a very, very powerful tool that every single person could use. It at the beginning, it might be difficult, like almost like a meditation, because your mind wanders. But after that, being able to bring it back, being able to being present, and really say, this is my time. This is the time to nurture a relationship with myself, that I could make decisions afterwards better that aligns with who I am and want to be. So I hope you choose to win, and see you tomorrow.